Are you looking to add color to the cards on the top of your Tableau session report? In this Tableau for Sports Science tutorial, I will show you how to do this using calculated fields. Let's get going. Welcome back to this week's Tableau for Sports Science tutorial. As you can see last time, this is where we'd got to with our report. We'd created our cards across the top. One small thing I've changed, or I've done so far, is I've added the planned percentage for player load, and and total distance as well. And I'll show you how to do that using a calculated field. And then from that, we can calculate the distance between what we actually did and what we planned to create a color. And I've already done that for our total distance card. But what we'll do is we'll go through and we'll do that for the player load, and then we'll expand it out to the rest of them. And then from there we'll create a little summary bar charts along the left hand side here, like we have in our Power BI report. So let's get going, and we'll start with player load. So we're already here and we have our card that we've created. I'm just going to expand this out a little bit here. And so all we need to do now is we need to create two new calculated fields on the left here for difference and for the color that we're going to use. So let's create a calculated field, and we'll call it, I'm going to call it this instead of TD definitely like I have before, but we're going to use this, and then we're going to use our percentage of norm value first. So let's use player load, and then we're going to use our planned percentage of norm player load, which I've also created here. We're going to hit apply. Let's go OK. So what you could do here is you could add this as a label. You can see what the difference is there. So it's not much for this for player load, so let's remove that so far. And then what we're going to use is we're going to create another calculated field here, and we'll call this diff color PL. And so we're going to use our diff value we've just created, but now we need to create an if formula, and we're just going to use a really simple less than or equal to negative 0.05, and I'm going to give it a number instead of a value. So then we'll go else if, and we'll go diff player load is greater than negative 0.05, and we need to use diff again less than 0.05, and we'll go with giving that a 3, and then the last one is we'll go diff player load, and if this is greater than or equal to 0.05, then we'll give it a 1. And then on Tableau we need to end it. So we can go apply here, we'll click OK, and then now we'll add our diff color as a color here. So you can see that we've already got our color added, or our value for this color is a 3. So what we can do, we'll click colors and we'll go edit, and we'll change this to a red, green, gold diverging. So at the moment, as we've only got one value, you can see it just gives us, it's got our red and our greens, but it's just 3. What we can do is click advanced, and we can add a start and end manually. So if we add a 1 here, and if you want to, you can add a 2 at the middle, and we want this to be stepped color, and we only want it to be 3, just like that. If we hit apply, now our green is added to our card, as you can see there. So if we go to our report, you can see the color is slightly different. And what we'll do to align with what we have in our total distance card, we'll change that to plan, hit apply, and the last thing we can do is change the size. So at the moment it's quite big, so let's just put it in the middle here. That'll be we'll go like that. See if that's close. Go a little bit bigger. There we go. So there we have our color there. So now we can do this for our other measures as well, and all we would need to do is recreate a few of these. So we'll go duplicate, and then I'll edit it, and we'll just call this one B5, and we'll go planned B5, and then team norm B5, and apply. We'll do this for the other two as well. I'll just duplicate this twice. We'll go edit, B6, B6, there we go. And then last one, we'll just B7. B7. Cool, and we click apply. So now we have that for everything, and then we would just create our differences again here. So let's do this once more. We'll do this for band 5 here. And we'll change this to B5, B5. Click apply. And then, oops, I have replaced that without duplicating it, haven't I? So let's change this back to PL. PL. Okay. Duplicate. There we go. Click edit. B5. There we go. Alright, now apply. There we go. Let's see our player load's still working. Cool. So then what we need to do here on band 5 is we need to add our planned as a value. So we have that. And we need to move that onto one line. Change this to plan. There we go. Click OK. And then we can recreate our color. So let's duplicate that first. Don't want to make the same mistake there. Call this B5, and then everywhere through here we've got PL, we need to change to B5, and then one more, and then click apply. And then add our color, click, edit, stepped, we're going to go with 3, red, green, gold again, and we go advanced. Start at 1, end at 3, apply. And then we just change the size a little bit. There we go. Check our report, and then we have it. So that's relatively easy to do. From there, what we can do is, next time we come back, I'll make sure I've updated these for you guys. But what we're going to do now is we're going to take our card and we're going to add or turn it slightly into a bar chart. Let's just do this slightly. There we go. And we're going to add our bar charts here, similar to what we had last time. So what we'll do is we will just take our total distance, and we're just going to duplicate that, and then I'll just move this to the end here. And I'm going to rename this here just so that we can tell the difference, and we'll just go bar at the front. Okay. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to take this off, and this off. And then the one thing I'm going to do here is a little different. I'm going to add a measure values to our rows here. And I'm going to remove some of these. So let's go those ones. And then I want to keep, let me see here, planned. I want planned to be on there. And let's get rid of these ones. Okay. And then what we want to do, we want this to be on columns, and then we want our measure names that we have here to be on rows. So I'm holding control, click and drag that up here. So now we've got 2 rows, as you can see there. And then we also want this to be a color as well. So let's do that. And then we can change this to a bar chart, just like that. We can add a label if we want there in the middle, and we can make that a bit bigger. Let's just go 14 for now, and we'll keep the color the way that it is, and we'll just create a little bit smaller so there's a little bit of a gap there. What you can do is you can edit the alias here if you wanted to, or when we create our when we create more of a background, we can just remove. We want to keep those. So we can split them into rows. We can just remove the or hide the header here, just like that. So then if we were to go to our report now, we can add our bar chart here. Let's just have it floating for a second. And we can hide the title, hide the axis header down the bottom here too. We can get rid of our legend. And we have everything there. Don't know why there we go. Okay, so now we've got that, we can hide our header again here. And now we've got our nice bar charts here. And we can create a background later that will show our the names and what each of these things are if we want. So we can just call this total distance and we can have a header that says planned versus actual and the colors. And we can do that for each of our metrics here. So if we were to just duplicate this again, let's call this player load instead. And now instead of having our two total distance values, we can change that to our player load values here. And then we would just change our colors. So we had this one, and then we can just use, it was from here, apply. Okay, there you go. Head back to our report, and we can pull this on as well. Hide this, delete that. There we go. So let's just remove these for a minute, and we can add in our object here, floating, and then let's do the same as what we had last time. Just might need to fight to get it back in again. There we go. Hide title. We can make sure our container, okay, we've got our container there. Let's add this one on. There we go. So now we can now they'll be, I guess, distributed evenly throughout the container. We'll click on our measures there. We don't need that one. Okay, cool. Got rid of that one. And then let's click on our chart, or one of our charts. We'll select the container vertical, and we can expand it out here. So as we remember, the more that we add in here, it'll distribute them evenly within the container, and it'll look nice and will look really nice as we expand that out. So there we go. We've started to add some more information to our session report, and we've been able to color our cards at the top up here, and also add some summary bar charts using our plan loading. The one thing we can do is, if we are to show the bottom here, we can change our axis to be some fixed values. So let's do that here quickly, and let's go with a 2. And then that way we can also add a constant line. We add it as a reference line, and we're going to add it on 1. And then if we to hover over, we can edit it, and we want to format it rather than edit it. And let's make it a bit thicker, and we can make it green. We just want it to be 100%. And we can remove our label here. Let me just see. Nothing. Okay, there we go. So there we have a line that we can use to be our game norm. Let's change the color a little bit further so it stands out a bit more. Or let's make it dotted like that. Make it a little bit darker. There we go. So we can work on that to show that a little bit more. So then we can do that for each of our figures here. Let's remove our header. So then we can see where our game norm is, and we can have each of these bar charts line up to be the same as above. So that we have a good starting point for the rest of our report. When we come back next time, we will have all our cards formatted correctly, and we will have the rest of our bar charts created. And then we'll continue to make our table to show the summary for each of the players in the team. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this video of our Tableau for Sports Science session report. If you have enjoyed it, please make sure you hit subscribe below and also like the video. And keep an eye out for future videos for Tableau for Sports Science or Power BI for Sports Science through the Football Analyzer channel. And I look forward to seeing you guys next time as we will continue to power performance through data. Thank you.